talk about some things you need to be successful out here on the road. So let's go ahead and get it. When you start driving, you got to be aware of your surroundings. And it's dark, as you can see in the cab of the vehicle. So I'm going to switch to outside. You want to come up and stop for 3 seconds. And then you want to inch forward. It's called showing the car. And we're just going to wait until it's clear. Turn in the first lane. Keep your turn as short as possible. Another tip, you want to look ahead and see what's going on in the intersection. Don't assume. And that's a still green light, so it just changed, so I'm going to squeeze my brakes. Don't try to run the light. You're going to end up failing your test and possibly getting hit. Try to slow down really smooth and stop behind this white line. You should be able to see it. At night, you want to make sure your windows are clear. Clean them off. Wipe off your headlights. I'm at a half a tank of gas. The car has an auto shut off. The temperature is about in the middle. That's normal. So it's Friday. It's about 8:08 Eastern Standard Time. So this means people are partying with their friends and family, which is fine, but it means you got to be safe out here. People are still riding motorcycles. There's definitely a crash rocket over there. I don't know if it could be a leader bike, but as long as there's no snow on the ground and the road is not too cold, people will ride bikes. I've been on a bike a couple times. One time was not real good. I actually flipped over the bike because I hit the front brakes because I wasn't used to it. Two of them. And you should always wear all of your safety gear. I'm definitely a full supporter of full face helmets, leather, gloves, the boots. Safety's no accident. Here's some other hidden dangers. You got to be aware of these little pop-up restaurants. There's a bingo hall to the right, so you have older people playing, and they could win, and they're there all day and all evening. I'm at about 50 miles an hour. Speed control's pretty good. Just taking my time, looking. Cars could pull out on you. A lot of beginners look in and swerve out of the lane. You want to look ahead to make sure you're safe. I'm looking ahead around a curve. Sometimes I ask my students, can you see the light? What color's the light? I'm trying to get you to look ahead. So when you're driving, look ahead as far as possible so you can see the light. It's extremely important. Trying to be smooth and consistent. Really being aware. Lane. Always look over your shoulder. Be smooth in your lane changes. You don't want to overturn. A lot of beginners grab the wheel so hard and literally turn it to the left or turn it to the right. You don't need a lot of steering wheel movement. And I don't know how you guys drive or if you drive, but usually you fill up your vehicle at least once a week or maybe twice. It depends on how far you go. You should try to fill it up after you get home from work, or if you wait till the morning, it's going to be really, really difficult scanning this intersection. Trying to keep good space. I'm at about 46. And sometimes people's brake lights or tail lights or even headlights are not working. And this is a double left turn, so I'm going to wait right here because I'll be turning in this private drive. I'm watching traffic, these cars. If you try to shoot the gap, you're going to end up getting hit, or you will go airborne over the curb, and that's not fun. So I'm waiting until this dually, I believe that's what it is, goes by. And then I'm gonna go up really easy. at an angle. Here's another tip. You have a parking area, you have a restaurant. I'm looking for people running out. I'm scanning.
Hi, I will be with you in 1 moment.
Thank you. A lot of interesting things. A lot of beginners don't know how to go through a car wash. So, what you need to do when you go through the car wash, you need to put your car in neutral. Okay, that's a really important thing, that you have that car in neutral, and then you get on the conveyor belt. Okay, the person will tell you when to put it in neutral and what you need to do. So that is important. So with your car in neutral, you're going to proceed through on the belt, and then the car will guide through on these rails, and then in the end you'll have to put it back in drive. Also going through tight spaces, parking lots, drive-throughs, banks. If you get too close to the curb, you'll hit the curb. If you're too far away, you won't be able to reach the ATM. So that's important. Those small things will help you become comfortable. How do you put in gas? You need to look on your dashboard.
Thank you so much for holding. How can I help you?
I have a pickup for Myles.
All right, you can pull up to the window.
Thank you. And you always want to be courteous. And I think that's extremely important. I was just talking to an officer in the last video I made, and he and I are going to plan, possible podcast, giving some tips, because I think that's important, that you learn to understand what officers go through. You learn what not to do and what not to say. You always want to put your hands on the dashboard, turn on your interior lights. You want to roll down your window. You want to have your license, registration, and proof of insurance ready to go. You always want to be honest. If you're speeding or you made a mistake, tell the truth. I was talking to the officer, and he said one of the worst things you can do, it gets really bad really fast. You see, the person just dropped their credit card on the ground. I got a story to tell you. When I first started in my job out of college, after I tried it for the NFL, I'm going to show you this real quick. See the lady, you're going to see the lady to the left. See, she dropped her credit card out. What happened to me, I dropped, and you don't want that to happen to you. What happened to me, I dropped about $600 in cash. I was going through the ATM, excited, my first check, and then I dropped $600. I moved my car up so fast, I ran out of the car, almost ripped my shirt. I got back $550. Okay, so when you're coming up to an ATM, gas pump, you got to leave room. If you get too close, you're going to smash your car. You're going to have your door kind of concave shape because you hit the pole. Okay, so that reminded me when I got my first job, and I lost $50. My check was for $638. So I dropped that cash. So you always got to be mindful of, how far you're away from the door, or, you got to be able to reach out. So that's important, because a lot of instructors don't take the time to do that. And it's the small things, your steering position. I'm by this drive-through door right now, and I want to be. Hi, how are you? Good. I understand, and I'm just showing love. You're good.
Okay.
I'm just showing love, showing support. I understand we're all working hard, and I wanted to share this with you because we're all trying to make a living, teach people how to drive, get a job. My job is bigger than just Teaching you how to drive is building that confidence, getting out there on the road, getting a job, getting a car. I do listen to my students, teens and adults. You're trying to get a job. You're trying to save for a car. So I'm just waiting patiently and being thankful. And then I'm going to show you, I have to go out of this private drive, so I have to yield to traffic coming.
This is the one you're going to sign for me.
Thank you. See, I didn't want to drop the credit card or the cash. Oop.
Your copy is in the bag.
Thank you. Am I all set?
You're all
Okay.
set.
Thank you so much. And it's called just being courteous, right? And then, so, you're going to be with your friends. I'm going to switch angles. All right. And then I have to turn the wheel. I don't want to hit this light pole, and then people will come out of this door. So I'm trying to get to the middle right, and I always look around. So I'm going down the bottom of the driveway. I got to yield because pedestrians walk here all the time. If you have seen one of my videos, there was an accident across the street. A young driver made an improper left turn, and when he made the turn, a lady hit him. So I had that video. So I'm waiting, and I'm going to turn in the first lane. And Fridays, Saturday nights are fun times to drive. You're excited, high school team playing, college team playing. And then I turn out right in the nearest lane. But there's a bar here, and happy hour, people are lit. So I'm just being careful and looking. I'm really glad I could show you real life, like that lady who dropped her credit card. Me telling the story when I got paid, one of my first jobs, $638. I dropped all the money out. I lost 50, okay? And I never jumped out of that car so fast. Like that car, they just turned real quick left. They got liquor stores, so you got to be aware. And I'm not mad. I mean, if you want to drink, but be safe out here. So I'm at 49 miles an hour. Speed limit's 50. The white line to the right is the edge line. I'm really big on pavement markings. I think that's an unforgotten area where I, as an instructor, can do better to help you. You need to know what these pavement markings mean. Through my career, there hasn't been a lot of focus. Yes, this is a stop line, lane changing. But these pavement markings can guide you to safety. And if you don't have pavement markings, you will go off the road. It's hard enough taking a beginner driver out at night. And during this time of year, it gets dark earlier. During the summer, it won't get dark till 9:30 or 10. We're good. Now, if I have a large class, I'm taking adults and teens out, and you're just so nervous. So I try to get you to relax, take your time. I'm going to get over one lane to the left, so it's mirror, turn signal. This is a front view today. And then I'm in the lane, about 4 blinks, checked. So I try to stay smooth and consistent. The one thing I want to teach you is just keep space. If you're tailgating and someone stops really fast, you're going to rear end them. And usually the person that rear ends someone is at fault. And if you see big open areas of darkness, it could be animals, it could be people who are riding bikes. There are a lot of factories and industrial areas around here. A lot of people don't have cars, so you see a lot of bike riders. And you're supposed to go with the flow of the traffic if you're a bike rider. If you're a pedestrian, you walk against the traffic so they can see you. You never turn your back. Yellow light, I'm gonna squeeze my brakes really easy and have a nice smooth slow down. And a lot of beginners overshoot the stop line. So you have to learn to have good depth perception. And then the stop line is about here. There's also another gentleman that I met, one of my clients. Her dad was a line painter for over 20 years, and we have not been able to get a chance to talk, but he's going to, allow me to interview him, make some content. How long do these lines last on the road? What material are they made from? He can give me a lot of insight. So what am I doing? I'm just looking at the intersection. I'm checking my rear mirror. I'm making sure people will actually stop. It's Friday night. People have been drinking. They're not aware. I'm not against that. You just have to be aware. And when green doesn't mean go, green means look. So I paused and I'm up to speed. Just taking my time. And this is how we're looking at. You see the kind of the starry and the smear stuff. That's what it looks like. I'm going to get over into this middle left turn lane. I want to get in just before. Beginners either get in too late or too early. And you don't want to go immediately after them. You want to wait. And like, for instance, now, if I turn now, I'm going to hit the side of the curb to the left. I have to move forward. So I don't want to crowd this car. I want them to turn. Okay, I'm good. Now I move forward. You need to pay attention. There's a lot of beginners are like looking to the right or left. You're looking at these cars to the left. So I'm going to make a 90-degree turn. If I turn too wide, I'm going to hit the telephone pole to my left. If I turn short, I'm going to hit the car in the left lane. So here's a gap, and then I turn. And see how smoothly? And then I turn out. I'm going to take you through a couple of the quick areas where I take clients. We do parallel parking. We learn to do three-point turnarounds. We pull in driveways. You have to know how to do these small maneuvers. And when you take the time to look at my content, and hopefully you are, you're going to subscribe. And when you subscribe, you're going to get value. You're going to get in-car tutorials, out-car tutorials, road tests, freeway, night driving. I even have some heavy flooding on there. I believe it is posted, but we were driving through a flood, and it was really incredible. So I'm going through this neighborhood at about 20, and it's looking left and right, looking for cars and people. And then I'm going to signal my intention. Right is up, left is down. A lot of beginners forget that. I want to come up to the stop sign and stop. S-T-O-P. I look left, I look right, I roll forward. And if I cut it too short, I'm going to go over the curb. And then I turn back out. That was pretty good. So your headlights are important. And if you have an older car, you need to replace your headlights because they do lose some of their brightness. Turn on my signal. I like to make a lot of right turns. Beginning drivers need to work on turns. And I'm turning slow into the turn, and then I turn out. Success leaves clues. I try to give you an honest evaluation if you're here preparing for your knowledge test, your road test. I'm in North America. These things can apply to the UK, to Australia. They do drive on the left, but it's still the same principle, having good lane positioning, being a defensive-minded driver. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I promise I will bring you great content and a wide variety. I want to say thank you and have a good evening.